my GTD setup in Notion right now, and I just want to run through it real quick. I have a database here. It's in a table format. I just have it labeled next actions. So in my particular GTD setup, it makes the most sense, I think, to have all of your actions, whether they are single actions or part of a larger project, in the same database. And you can see those tasks in different places in Notion and surface them in different ways. But what I'm going to focus on here is the inbox view of my next actions. So anything I have that it needs to be in my inbox digitally, I'll just add here. Got a few examples here. Could also add something else like, mow the yard or something like that. And this is there's a lot here, but I'll run through just a quick processing of these items so you can see everything this page does. And just for help here, I'll show the GTD workflow diagram. And I'm going to go through this process very quickly for each item. And what you'll notice is that each step in this GTD workflow diagram is going to have a place in this one view in Notion. So I can run through a full GTD workflow of processing my inbox in this one view. So mom's birthday stuff, what is it? Maybe instead of mom's birthday, it needs to be buy mom a birthday card. And you'll notice trash and reference are my first two checkboxes. Going back here, you'll see what is it? Is it actionable? No. Trash, reference, someday, maybe. So these are the first three decisions that you might have on a particular item in GTD. And in Notion here, the way I would do that is if I'm thinking, I just want to trash this item, I'm not going to worry about it. I can just check that box and it's going to immediately disappear. I can also just quickly delete the item, but I also wanted to give myself a quicker way of just making an item disappear, and I can clear out the trash periodically. So yeah, going through here, it might be a reference item. Like let's say it's just a note that I've pulled up. I can also click reference, and it'll just put it in a reference list elsewhere in Notion. But I already have the filters here in Notion set to where this automatically is only going to show certain items that have not been processed. So yeah, a couple more examples here. Context. I'll just choose at home, or not at work, at home. How long will this take to go to the store and come back? Probably 30 minutes. Energy would take not very much. Priority, pretty high. Probably not stop everything right now and do it, but energy, priority. And that helps me decide what to do later. And I'll show this in another video. But if I have an item that's considered someday maybe or hold for review, I have a checkbox here too where maybe I want to put an item off to later in the week or until my next review. And so I can check that box too, and it'll make the item disappear. And so my next step here, if it's not trash, someday maybe, or reference, it's an action. And so here you'll see the first decision I have to make is it part of a project? In this scenario, it's not, so I'm going to skip this step. And as you can see, I'm following here. I'm down to, is this an action? Is it a project? No. Will it take less than 2 minutes? Yes, just do it. Okay, well, if it's 2 minutes, I'll just do it. I can check it off. But if not, maybe I need to delegate it. I could theoretically delegate it to somebody. And I have a people database in Notion where I could delegate it to different people. And that will also make the item disappear off of this list. I know I'm going pretty fast here, but I want to keep this short here. Another option here in GTD is to schedule an item in your calendar. So let's say I just move buy my birthday card directly to my calendar. Well, I don't need it on a next action anymore, so I can just schedule it. If I do that, I can just tell myself which day I scheduled it for on my separate calendar, and it will disappear. I'm not going to do that for this item, but that would be like a quick workflow for that item up to here. If I want to do this tomorrow, I have 2 or 3 more columns here that are not super explained with the GTD process, but has worked for me in Notion. I plan my day in weeks in Notion using a weekly agenda. And so for this upcoming week, I already have that agenda created. So if I wanted to defer this item to the upcoming week, I could just choose a week, 29th for April 6th. I don't know if I did that math right, but I'll just have a week created in my weekly agenda. It tells me which week that's going to be a part of. And I'm also going to say I'm going to do it on Monday. And is this an MIT? Is this a most important task? Probably not. So I'll just leave that blank. And then if I am confident that this item is fully processed and I want to remove it from my inbox, I have this final checkbox to indicate that it is appropriately a next action, and it removes in the list. So there's a lot there. I'm going to quickly go through Mow the Yard and explain one last time how to go through this. So it's not to be trashed. It's not a reference item. The context here would be at home. I could add a context I needed to. Time, probably 120 minutes. Energy would be pretty high. Priority, also pretty high. I don't want to review it. It's not part of a project. It's not done. I'm not going to delegate it. It's not going to be scheduled per se. It's not like a meeting or an appointment or something like that. I am going to do it this week. So I'll just do my week. This should show up automatically. I'm not sure why, but we'll just do that for right now. And then the day of the week will be Monday. It's not the most important task. And it's ready to be moved to my next action list. And that's how I process my inbox for GTD in Notion. And in another video, I might show all my different views of this particular database that will help explain some of these columns a little bit better. I surface these tasks in different ways in different places in Notion. So just a quick example, my next actions list is everything that's currently available done, and that can be helpful. So that should be helpful to see how I use GTD in Notion.